I just want to show you a really nice roundabout here in Newcastle, which I think is quite typical of a standard roundabout design being introduced in New South Wales at the moment, in recognition of the fact that here in a low density context, where because of the density most people drive, you don't actually have that many cyclists and you don't have that many pedestrians either. And so it's actually okay to mix cyclists and pedestrians on the footpath without dividing the footpath into a cycle track and a footpath, if that makes sense. In Holland, you know, dense, lots of cyclists, lots of pedestrians, you want to keep those two separate. Here you can kind of blend them. And something that I'm seeing more of is this kind of tacit encouragement of the blending. Technically you're not meant to ride on the footpath in New South Wales, but there's so much of this kind of treatment. So there's a pram ramp for a pedestrian to go across. Now I'm a cyclist using the footpath. I can come around this way and it's the same coming on and off of the cycle, on and off of the roundabout in every direction. I've got the choice of going down that ramp on the right or continuing down the footpath on the left. So if I'm a carriageway cyclist, I can ride down the carriageway. Cautious cyclist, I can ride down the footpath. Or even I could just ride straight through the middle of the roundabout as a vehicular cyclist as well. So I've kind of got three choices, which I think is really cool. So let me continue. Anyway, we've got a cyclist coming here, we'll see what he does. Look, he's a footpath guy. Good on him. And you can be whatever you want, see? Look, now he's on the carriageway. So I'm going to come down here, I'm going to chuck a UE. Oh, I've got plenty of time. Chuck a UE. I'll come around this way and I'll go up onto the footpath. I'll blend with this guy. Let's just say I'm a cautious cyclist and I want to go straight ahead through this roundabout. Well, I'll follow Mr. Pedestrian here. So taking the safe way through the roundabout, and now I could go down the footpath, or on this occasion I'll rejoin the carriageway and go down this way, and well, it's a hugely wide street, this one, so no problem. I'll go down to the next corner and I'll show you something else that Australian cities provide that is not really celebrated as much as it should be. Now I'm on the edge of an arterial road here, and I've added them up, and in this city, the city centre, there's about 4 or 5 of them. Meanwhile, there's about 50 or 100 quiet back streets. This is far from ideal here. I'd rather be able to just be zoomed onto the footpath. I'm just going to head. So I'm turning left, but one thing we have are, like, oh my god, so many of these quiet back streets. This particular one gets used for a little bit of through traffic, but by and large, they're 40 zones and they have next to no traffic on them whatsoever. So just riding down the edge of this road, or even riding in the door zone up there, is not real okay. This one's a bit of a rat run because there's through traffic. But if I show you this one, you'll see the difference. This one is actually even marked out as part of the so-called bike route, or a bike funnel. Not that that's necessary or desirable. Given the fact that you can ride on the footpath and can ride on the road, there's a huge network of these quiet back streets which are used more than you would think by cyclists in a city of this size. You're not going to get those photos of like 50 cyclists leaving the lights at once, because you just don't have the density. You just don't see any sort of traffic like that. The only place you see traffic like that is car traffic in an Australian city. So anyway, I'll leave you with that. I just think that the realities of a low density city are so different from the realities of a compact city, which is obviously more desirable for bicycle transport, but it's a multi-generational task to ever really densify these Australian cities, and I think unfortunately we'll be using a lot of solar powered e-cars to deal with the challenge in the meantime. That's it, signing out. Dr. Behooving in his straw hat, because it's typically tropical here today. But that's it, thank you.